This is the video YouTube will never show you. You will never get to see this. If you're one of the lucky people who sees this video, you're one of the lucky people. Because I'm just gonna talk about some of the stuff that I think are gonna save you some money or save you some frustration in the shop. And they're just things that I happen to be working with all the time as I'm messing with my kids' bikes. This is my son's 2025 KTM 250 SXF, his motocross bike. And just in the dealings of messing around with a bunch of kids and at least two boys that are riding motorcycles, we end up using a lot of parts. And there are some parts that I think you need to spend some extra money on, and there's some tools I think you need to spend some extra money on. But today I want to show you a few things I've been working with here recently and parts that I'm like, you don't need to spend that much money on it. So I just want to kind of show you. I'm a big fan, and so I'm just going to kind of go over the edge here. I'm a big fan of open-ended grips, which I've shown you before, and then putting bar ends. These are a couple of different variations of bar ends. This one right here is the Cycra grip armor bar end, very easy to install in your bar. And then this is the version of the Tusk racing bar end, works really similarly. And I put these inside of, in the bar ends here to protect your grips when you go down or take a digger on the track or on the trail or whatever. And I like both of these things for different reasons, but I will say that the Tusk bar ends, these are about $12.99. I'll show you a link of this. By the way, please use my links to Rocky Mountain ATV when you're purchasing all this stuff. And next month, in just a few days, when we do the sweepstakes for September, it's gonna enter you to win like $2,000. I'm giving away $7,000 in cash. The grand prize winner is gonna win $2,000, runner up is $1,000, and then there's 8 other people that are gonna win $500. So I'm giving 10 people freaking a boatload of cash. And all you have to do to get entered is buy something on my website in September or buy anything off Rocky Mountain ATV using my affiliate links. But these Tusk bar ends, you can see these are what? These are what, $12.99 for these things? And the Cycra grip armor bar ends are a little bit more, they're $21.99. So I use them both, but I've been kind of really liking the Tusk because they're a little bit cheaper. And that way, if you lose one, which my son lost one here out of the grip on the other side, and I'm just gonna drop one of those things back in there. Really easy to do, not a problem. Here's a cool thing that I have, a new product I've been using. This is the Bulletproof Designs. Did I pull this up? No, I don't think I did. This is the Bulletproof Designs funnel here, and they've just 3D printed this is what they've done. But it's kind of cool because it has a vent thing here in the top. It's kind of like a vent straw that goes down that. So oil goes down this thing really, really nicely. And one thing I love about this funnel is it screws directly onto the bike. Hopefully I'll get a shot of this. So it screws into there, and then that's easy for you to be dumping oil. I don't have any engine oil here on the counter. Really easy to put oil in your bike when you're doing oil changes. I've shown you the Motion Pro funnel, which I love, and then you can easily just put that, you know, because I'll measure out the exact amount of oil that I want, drop it in this funnel, and then I'll put that in here. And this little Bulletproof Designs funnel is great. This is just one that I have from the hardware store, and I've used this for years. I use this from like putting engine coolant in and different things. But the Bulletproof Designs one, and this is probably just a couple bucks at a hardware store or whatever, right? That's not even dirt bike. It's not even, it's just a little funnel. But this little guy is pretty cool. And I do like Bulletproof Designs products, and that's pretty cool that that just goes right on there like that. So that's fun. Here's some other ones that I'm using. Now, fork shoe covers. So I'll probably roll in some shots. Hopefully I can find a shot of this. I don't have fork shoes covers on these bikes because the boys have mostly been just doing moto here recently with it. But these, I do love these Acerbis fork shoes right here. And this just makes it so that if you can take your bike through nasty stuff, and if you hit rocks, you're not ruining the bottom of your forks. So I bought the Tusk version of these things, and that's these things right here. And they're quite a bit cheaper, but I don't like the way they work nearly as much because on the bottom of this fork shoe, if you have a shock or a fork that has a clicker down here, you can't get to it with that fork shoe installed. So yeah, that's a hit and miss product for me. I don't think the Tusk ones offer as much protection as the Acerbis ones. So on this one, for sure, I'm gonna buy the one that costs a little bit more over the Tusk ones, just because these will allow you to access the clickers on the bottom if you're using those. So that's kind of an interesting thing. But it's not always the case of you get what you pay for, because 2 of the 3 things I've shown you, I actually like the cheaper one a little bit better. And I think I'm the same way on the oil filter. So with this motocross bike, we're always doing a bunch of oil filters. And here I have the KTM, the OEM KTM filter. And then I have these Tusk first line filters here. And they're basically half the cost between the two of them. And I don't think, if I can get this open, I feel like at the intervals in which, so here's the expensive one in this hand, and here's the Tusk one in this hand. And I'm looking at how they're manufactured, and I'm looking down the holes, I'm looking at the material that they're using, and this one is the one that's twice as much money. This is the Tusk one. I can't tell any difference in them, and I will buy the Tusk one at half price. And then they sell these in like 3-packs and 5-packs, which is also super cool. So I'm gonna put my Tusk one back in here and my KTM one back in here. And that's one where I'm just gonna go with the Tusk Racing option. Okay, here's another one that I think is pretty cool. Registration holders. So as many of you know, in most states, they want you to put your registration on this left fork right here. They want you to display it right here. And I've not been doing that. I've been putting it on some sort of registration holder. This is also a fork protector sold by Dingo Racing. I don't think Rocky Mountain ATV sells these, but then this just snaps right on here. Well, Rocky Mountain ATV / Tusk has this carbon fiber little wrap thing, and this also protects your fork, but then you would put your registration stickers on here. And I like that better because we're always messing around and when you're getting your forks serviced and everything, or you're just swapping around and trying different forks, that sticker is gonna come off. And so I think it's a better idea. Do I have a sticker in here? I don't, but this just came just the other day. So the point is you'd put your registration stuff on this little carbon fiber thing and then slap that on here. Now you're legal, but you can still get the fork serviced and they can clean that up and you're not going to, it'll still be good. You guys get what I'm saying. So that's a pretty cool product. And the Tusk Racing one, registration, this is 15 bucks, $14.99 for that thing. And I definitely think that's worth it. Get one of these and put your registration on that. And then, you can go that way. Back to filters, check these filters out here. So I have been a big fan of twin air filters for a long time. Look how dirty that filter is. That's been to the motor track a few times. And then these Tusk first line filters for this bike, this is $17.99, 18 bucks for that. The twin air version of it is $36, so this is literally half the cost. And I have played around with a lot of filters over the last long time, and I cannot see one single good reason to spend twice as much money on the twin air filter. I'm not saying it's a bad filter, but I'm saying this Tusk one for half the cost is just as good. So that's one that I'm like, hey, let's do that. And then they also give you like some gloves, latex gloves, inside of the package with that to go for it. The best air filter oil that I've seen so far that I've used is the Bel-Ray filter oil, and I just need that in there and get it completely saturated. I don't use the aerosol ones. I think you're just kind of wasting with the aerosol ones. So I just use that foam filter oil poured on there, and I have the gloves and I just knead the crap out of it and make sure there's a ton of oil filter oil in that. I don't grease the edges like some people will put grease. I used to do that. I'd put like grease around the edges of the filter right here. I do not do that anymore. I think that's just attracting dirt. And then a lot of people ask me about two-stroke oil as far as premix. Now this one isn't premix, but my son's 125 over there is premix. And on all the TPI bikes, the KTM TPI and TBI bikes, I just run the Motorex Cross Power 2T. I don't have a good reason not to run this. This is a very good synthetic oil. And I run this thing at 65, to 1 in all the bikes that are premix, and that's great. Back in the day, I used to run AMSOIL Sabre in the bikes, and I still have some of that, and I will still use it if I know, it's a carbureted bike. But on all the ones that are fuel injected, I just have been using this. Really great oil. And it doesn't cost a lot for the amount of oil that you're putting in this, because I'm only putting 65 to 1. This goes a long, long time. And so it's a great oil. It's fully synthetic. I know that's great. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys here that I think is a great value is this MSR helmet bag here. So I've got an old helmet in this. This is an old climb helmet, but you can see it just goes straight in here. This just keeps your helmet really nice. We're buying like $500, $600 helmets, maybe even $700 helmets. Some of them come with good helmet cases, some of them don't. Or if you're like me, you got a bunch of helmets laying around with your kids and they were a $300 helmet or something, but they didn't come with a good helmet case, helmet bag. And this helmet bag is only, this is like $32.88, so 33 bucks. Most of these helmet bags are somewhere in this $50 to $100 range from other manufacturers. And you can put goggles in here. So a set of goggles will go in this front pocket right here. So you can throw your helmet and your goggles right in this thing, and it's padded, it's nice and clean. And I think that's a great value, this MSR thing from Rocky Mountain ATV. So that's a cool thing. It's like, this is gonna save you. It's got like some vents in it too. There's some vents right here. And it's kind of like water resistant or mud resistant on the bottom, so you can drop that down in the dirt or the mud and it's not gonna like catch as much dirt. But this is a really quality bag that isn't going to break the bank compared to a lot of things. So like I said, some of this stuff, I wanna buy the best that there is. I'm buying the best that there is on the foam, the filter oil. I'm buying the best that there is on the oil. I'm buying the cheaper air filters. I'm buying the cheaper oil filters. I'm buying the better, more expensive fork protector because I just think that's great. And then this funnel down here I think is awesome. And then on your bar ends, you know, either one of these are good, but I'm kind of leaning towards the cheaper version of them now. It is an aluminum one, whereas these Cycra grip armor ones, that's plastic. It's backed by steel back here with a steel washer. But either way, those are, it just kind of makes your grips last longer. That's the video that I have for you guys today. Again, watch for that September sweepstakes. This video will probably come out right before that, but September 1st through September 30th, please, I'm not giving a bike away because we didn't make enough money on it last time, so it didn't pay for the next sweepstakes. So we're doing this as bare bones as we can to try to kind of get some momentum back on that. So some of those shirts, there's a couple shirts maybe on my website. They're going to be pre-order only. I have some product that still existed from last time, like some of the microfiber towels, and there was a few shirts that were left over that didn't get sold from that last sweepstakes. But then I have a couple of these pre-order shirts that I'm not going to even print them until I know how many to print at the end of the sweepstakes. And we're doing that just to like do this thing as bare bones as we can and still kind of get this back. And the cool thing is I'm going to be giving away all this cash. So if you get that grand prize of $2,000, you can use that to upgrade your bike, upgrade your suspension, or take your family on a little vacation. You know, same thing if you're the runner-up, $1,000. $1,000 is a lot of money. So please use my links to Rocky Mountain ATV now and in the future. If any of this content is valuable to you, if you have questions about what bike you should buy or what type of helmet you should buy or what type of boots you should buy, let's have a phone call. I'm happy to help you kind of go through it and cut out the BS. And then the way that you can pay me is by using the affiliate links to Rocky Mountain ATV. So that's what I have for you guys today. Hopefully this is valuable. And until next time, leave a single track. Thanks.